How great must it be to work for Donald Trump? Whatever people say on the outside, you have Rana, who was there forever.
Rana
Graff. And then you have this COO say one of the hardest things I had to do was quit after 36 years because the court cases were coming up too fast and furious. You have Hope Hicks, who looks back at those days working for Trump and gets misty-eyed because she feels such a loyalty to him. You have a CFO sitting in Rikers Island for the second straight time because he refuses to make up lies about the guy he worked for and would go back and work for him again. So whatever you say about Trump and his organization, it's a big success, and he treated everybody there like family. And I think that says a lot about the character of the person that many people can't understand his popularity still.
Well, you know, and when you look at the current swing state polls, I think in the 6 swing states that really matter, I think Donald Trump is leading in 4 of them at this point, tied with Joe Biden in a couple. There are a lot of people who do support Donald Trump. A lot of people support Joe Biden. But as we're about to tell you, a former CNN reporter by the name of Michelle Kosinski went to X, and she was talking about how she came face to face with apparently...
So scary.
Yeah, and she's haunted by the fact that she was with people who seem so normal, and then after a couple of drinks, she realizes, oh my goodness, they like Donald Trump.
Closeted. They were closeted Trump people.
This is a portion of what she wrote on X. A few weeks ago, I had dinner with a few couples, friends of friends, all American. All were well-educated and successful in careers.
Can I just say this? If you're at home right now, you might want to tell the kids to go to school. This could get ugly. Ready? Finish.
Yeah, okay. They seemed great on the surface.
Uh-oh.
For like top Ivy League college... Wait. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I skipped a line. On the surface, for like an hour, but slowly, over a few drinks, they began to let slip their true MAGA natures. One of the couples each attended top Ivy League colleges.
Are you kidding?
But now that it was university time for their own kids, they were adamantly not, capital letters, not letting them apply to any Ivies.
Go on.
And were weird about explaining why. Though the kids were double legacies. Okay, moving on. As it went on, my friends and I realized we were surrounded by otherwise carefully closeted MAGAs.
Wow.
It's funny.
Did you say maggots?
Oh, maggots, yes.
Wow, that's
maggots.
a put down.
It's funny how the extremist or just wrong beliefs can't help but be leaked out, even when you least expect them, and from people you least expect. They are out there. This dinner continues to haunt me. They all seem so ... normal.
Really? 76 million closeted Trump fans. Well, I mean, that's 2020. It might even be higher now.
Well, her message was, these people, they look like me. Why do they like Trump? What's the matter with them?
Well, one thing could be the border. One thing could be the economy. One could be a foreign policy that kept us out of wars. They could be the Abraham Accords. They could be the fact that they resent the Russia hoax, or that you went out of your way to make Ukraine a impeachable moment.
Yep. Listen to this. Mark Hemingway wrote this on X as a comment. It is truly amazing how at a time when mortgage rates have close to tripled in 3 years, overall consumer prices are up 20%, 25% for food, and Russia's at war in Eastern Europe, and the entire Middle East is a powder keg. The response is maggots don't know facts.
You know, on the weekends, I do play pickleball, a lot of pickleball, and I play in Florida and I play in New Jersey.
With closeted Trump fans?
Some. Because that's a good way to put it up, or closeted Biden fans. Because this election cycle is different than 2020 or 2016. It seems like everybody is afraid to reveal who they're for. Occasionally somebody will say something about Joe Biden, and then there'll be some nods, and then they might talk about Joe Biden for a while, half the group, and then the other half realizes, okay, they're for Joe Biden, or vice versa, where Trump comes up, next thing you know, the other side of the pickleball pit, they're talking about Donald Trump. So it's not one of those things where people are saying, hey, I'm going to vote for this person, and this is why. Instead, people are just revealing, I know what their talking points are.
She said the couples she's having dinner with that were Trump fans are in an upscale neighborhood down in Florida. And I was talking to someone yesterday, and they said that never before have as many people been searching on Google how to get citizenship in a different country.
From Florida?
No, from all over the United States. You watch these images, you see what I saw in my neighborhood last night. You couldn't drive down the street because protesters were weaving in and out of traffic.
Ainsley, it could be because of the taxes.
Right.
It's
Steve, do you ever play
one of the
mixed
reasons.
doubles where with the Biden and Trump people? You ever mix them up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Okay,
Who wins? Is that an indication?
As I think of one group, they're Biden people, and they are better.
Next
But
hour.
then I've got another group, they're Trump people, and they're better.
Right.
On certain days.
Next hour, Steve will reveal their names and their addresses.
And that will be the last time they ever speak to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.